Mustafa Shakir. I was in the record play.
Hi, my name is Renzi, and I wrote and directed Karaoke.
My name is McCabe, Walsh. I produced Karaoke.
My name is Arly Montes. I am one of the producers of Postmortem.
I'm Kayla de Cerda, and I starred in Postmortem.
Hi, I'm Elli Toivoniemi. I'm the producer of The Date.
My name is Mieneke. I'm the editor of Magnesium.
I'm Dan from Pool. I'm a sound designer for Magnesium.
I'm Paul. I'm the cinematographer of Magnesium. Okay, right back.
Okay, we'll take questions at this time.
Just a question for the writer director of Karaoke. In the best sense of the word, I think you made a little mini musical. Was that your intent in terms of having the music tell the story?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I started with what's obviously a pretty personal subject matter, but then fictionalized events. Basically, you know, the film kind of represents my anxieties during this period that my father was sick. Always sort of in the back of my mind, knowing that I had to be available, just in case something serious was going to happen. But then also, I was growing up, so I was in denial and not always available. And I know that music was kind of one of those situations that could be my best friend and my worst friend, because it allowed me to kind of avoid everything else going on, but it also allowed me to kind of immerse myself into the emotions that I was feeling. So yeah, I think a musical is definitely kind of the grounding factor of it.
Question here. So for play record?
Record play, yeah.
Record play. How did you get the audio tape out of the whole stomach?
Special gun. I just pulled it out. My thesis was awesome.
Also, is it Shakir?
Shakir, yes.
But with Record Play, it was such a beautiful story to me. I'm just curious where it came from.
Yeah, it was born out of a short idea that the director Jesse Atlas had about this young girl actually who was building a rocket in the garage. And it was like she was like, a genius, and she was taking all these pieces, and then it morphed into Record Play because we couldn't find a young girl to play the role. So it worked out for me. I became a genius. Come on. We have something to ask.
Anyone else?
Yeah, how about the story for The Date? Where's the story coming from?
Well, I can try to answer for the director screenwriter. Jenny, the director, met a character in a cat show in Finland, and I think that was the inspiration for that.
What she's asking is if all of you can repeat. I'm sorry.
If they can talk about their film just a little bit each.
If you guys will take a minute to talk about your film.
Awesome opportunity for me, because most of acting we think is waiting to say your lines, and rarely there's an opportunity to come along where you have to actually be in the moment and not say what you're feeling, but to show what you're feeling. So I feel really blessed to be a part of that project for that, because most of the time, it's like, well, just that, you have to say what you feel, and it was a great opportunity. Did I repeat myself? I said, yeah. I think that's what I call it. Sure.
I guess on kind of a general level, I made a short film last year called The Fort that played here, and then I wrote a feature that I just went to the screenwriter, the Sundance Screenwriters Lab with, and so I knew I wanted to make another short film before I made my feature, and so this film was kind of born out of the need to explore a different aesthetic that I might be able to then kind of make an amalgamation of my two short films and as a way to know what I was going to do in my feature. So I guess this short was kind of born out of that, and then also I kind of felt, it's been 5 years since my dad passed away, and for some reason I felt like it was time to have that actual catharsis on screen. For some reason, it just sort of felt right to make some sort of dedication to him at that time. But yeah, so that's where it comes from.
Yeah, and so my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was like 9. My dad got throat cancer when I was like 11. So when I read Andrew's script, I mean, it hit me on a personal level. So I just wanted to see it made, and he's someone that I've always wanted to work with anyway. So it worked out pretty well.
So Postmortem was kind of born from our two directors, Jillian Meyer and Lucas Leyva. Jillian is an artist in Miami, and the ideas in Postmortem are kind of ideas that she's been exploring in her artwork, and she and Lucas kind of tried to adapt the art to screen, and that's where that kind of comes from.
They're all also real life events.
The date is, the personal relate to the date is, the Diablo cat is my cat. I'm really proud of him. And I find this story really unique and kind of fun. So I'm really proud to be here and produce that film.
Magnesium is about how far can we go for success, and for the director it's a very personal story because he's very passionate about film and he sacrificed a lot of things, and he wanted to find a setting where he can tell a story, and we found this girl who kind of sacrificed her whole life for just the qualifications, and the way we captured it was very close, obviously, because she's very isolated, and her relationship with the rest of the world is very unique, which we discovered in research. So, yeah, kind of, that's it, I guess.
Okay, another question? She's asking why they choose shorts rather than a feature.
Do you have money for my feature? Gladly take it. Anyone else?
For people in Magnesium, was that girl an actress, or because she was excellent?
Just a gymnast. She was a real gymnast. So the only actors were the people around her, and it was really funny because the quality was just so different because she was so real. She was so real, and yeah, so she's real.
In the back?
I just had a question, and the person from Record Play kind of hit on that, but all of the shorts seem to have, limited dialogue, so it kind of seems like that could affect each person's role within the film. And so I'm wondering if everyone can kind of hit on that, to see like screenplay writers writing that, directors directing that, actors acting that with limited dialogue, and how you guys all deal with that and relate to that.
One of my acting teachers said that everything that's being said is really said in your eyes. And she says if the thought runs across your mind, it'll be reflected in your eyes. So it just makes you really tap into your inner world. and it translates. It makes you trust yourself. So the whole problem with overacting is you want to really show what you're feeling, and it's not so much that. You just have to be it. And that's a lot in human interaction. When someone is just themselves, you can feel it a lot more than when they try to show yourself. So it's like, I guess it's an exercise in being real.
Yeah, I guess on like a tonal level, I've always just sort of been drawn to stories that exist kind of underneath the film, and you know, it's kind of like building towards something. You can sort of tell that it's building towards something. You know, without saying so much, you just sort of take it forward, and then hopefully you get to some kind of resolution, whether it be through dialogue or just through imagery. But,
I just think acting is really hard, probably. I've never tried, but yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think you got to be careful when you're working on such small, low-budget productions, because if you're going to cast your friends and stuff like that, lots of times they're just not really good actors. So I don't know the practice in other people's films.
Well, I can't speak for our directors, but we were both in one of the vignettes of the short, and it's just, some things are just better said with the images and the sounds, and let the DP and the directors kind of do their thing. Sometimes obviously acting is important, but we're not really actresses sometimes.
Yeah, like, I was Jillian's intern, the director's interns, and, I think she just picked us based off of our personalities, She's
Yeah.
a producer, so she's gotta be on top of things, she's got that kind of personality. And I'm just an intern, so I'm just there, getting instructions, so, yeah.
Well, well, when I think the short film as a concept, as a format, it's really powerful what you're saying in 7 minutes. So you need to pick the words really, really carefully to kind of get your point out, and not to try to tell too much.
Well, I think it's already said a little bit over there, but for us, editing, sound, and DOP, cinematographer, it's very interesting to work with other things other than dialogues, as well as style, layout of the image, cutting, rhythmic, dynamics, sound, of course. So I think that's very interesting for us. Is that kind of an answer to the question?
Let's give him another round of applause.